Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Sunday. Let's do our study group for warriors. Mind, body, and soul. You know how it goes. Let's get into some of this. I take notes every day on what I study. Let's just go over some of these notes. Give you guys something to think about for the rest of your weekend. Who are we leaving this planet to? Are we leaving it to the children? Are we leaving the future to the children? Is the future the younger generations? And are we preparing them to someday take over? All this will be yours someday. Treat it well. Let me teach you everything I know. Are we so proud of the youth? It doesn't feel like it. And it doesn't feel like the government or science or education, any aspect of society really, is intending to leave this planet to the children. No, the future is not the children. The future is AI, right? That's the future, right? Go ask Elon Musk or any one of these techies. They all say the future is AI. They're not talking about the future being the children. The children, maybe they'll, maintain the AI, clean up after C3PO. The future for our kids seems to be prison, mental illness, drug abuse, homelessness. Right? Isn't that what we're preparing them for? Keeping them weak, hovering over them, saving them from suffering. Every one of you has this idea that I want to give my kids a better life than I had. You spoil your kids rotten. They end up weak little brats, overgrown babies, playing video games, and they're just soft and sorry, afraid to meet the world. And well, I think we've given up. We're just going to let C3PO and R2-D2 run the whole planet, and a whole bunch of little robots run the planet, and kids are going to walk around, like overgrown, brainless idiots wearing diapers, sucking on pacifiers. That pacifier might be your cell phone. We should have a whole video about pacifiers. You know what a pacifier? A little baby sucks on a pacifier, and the whole point of that is, why do babies suck on pacifiers? Because they want to suck on a nipple? No, it's a psychological manipulation. And you're being pacified right now, and you may not even realize it. It's like a little baby. We'll talk all about it sometime. But we're leaving the future to AI. And that's a weird future, man. I don't know why we're so dead set on that shit. Let's go to the next one. Here's a topic that I've been thinking about probably for 30 years. And I'm not kidding. I've wondered where human society went wrong. It feels to me that since I've been born, Western civilization, society as a whole, planet Earth has taken a weird turn. I don't know if it's technology, if it's narcissism. I can't pin it on anything, and I've studied this. Why? Why is everything so fucked up? Take a look around you, man. We're all living in Babylon. How did we get here? How did we go from Norman Rockwell to a dystopia? Well, I'm going to tell you how, and I've been studying this. It's the baby boomers. Yeah, I'm blaming you. I know some of you aren't going to like it, but I'm blaming you. The baby boomers, you guys have ruined the world. We let them. I mean, they're my parents' age, so what am I supposed to do, right? The future is supposed to be the kids. But even the baby boomers have given up on the kids. Oh, they raised us all wrong. They didn't raise us to take over. They raised us to be just like them, a bunch of bohemian, postmodernist, materialistic hedonists, chasing vice and pleasure forever. Let's all become artists. That was my mom's greatest dream, was for me to become an artist. She still talks about it to this day. If I were to quit everything and just become some starving artist, she'd probably shed a tear. It would be literally the best thing that's ever happened on planet Earth. It's all she ever wanted. And I'm not just blaming my mother. That's her whole generation. They're not trying to tell you to go out and be a mechanic. Because mechanics are losers. They think of Archie Bunker. Not that he was a mechanic, but the working class. You ever notice how the hippies have a disdain for the working class? Now, I can't speak all or nothing. There are some good baby boomers out there that get it, that were raised right. But the vast majority of you, we can do the numbers, and I've studied this for 30 years. I was raised by communist, liberal hippies, out of control, drug addict hippies. That's the world I was raised in. How do you think I got a name like this? The baby boomers are overly emotional. Go talk to one. They live through emotion. They're not stoics. That's my grandfather's generation. The baby boomers live in emotion. That's all that matters to them. They're emotional terrorists. They're ISIS. Emotional terrorists, for sure. I'm not saying that they're Muslims when I say ISIS. I mean that they're extremists. Emotional extremists. And one of the things that really annoys me about them, about the baby boomers, is that they are still, to this day, you guys are living this lie that you bought into in the 60s, this fucking lie. Tune on, turn in, drop out. Everything about your politics was a goddamn lie. A bunch of Marxist idiots still intellectualizing over cappuccinos at Starbucks, talking about how they can figure out how to make Marxism work. Oh, you don't think so? I just had that conversation with some friends of mine in Winter Park. And the guy out of nowhere starts talking about how Marxism and communism could work and all this and that. And I'm looking at him like, you idiot. What kind of fucking stupid fantasy world are you in? This shit's never worked. But I'm not going to just pick on baby boomers. I'll pick on my own generation, Gen X. Rather small generation, one of the smallest, insignificant. There was 100 million baby boomers, there was only 20 million Gen X. There's over 120 million millennials. That's the largest generation, the millennials. Gen X was the apathetic generation, the I don't care generation. And we all ended up, not all of us, some of you guys ended up good. Many of us followed what our parents taught us. To be narcissists, materialistic. To have this notion that the world needs to fill the void inside of me. That's the philosophy of most of my generation. It's a psychosis. You know, I think what would solve a lot of this, how could we steer the youth right? I think we need to reinstitute the draft and have mandatory service for all men and women. Israel does this, many countries do this. Everyone spends 18 months or so in the military serving. And when you get out, you'll have experience, job skills, education, the ability to go on further in many different directions. You'll have discipline. You would have learned how to wash yourself, to clean your room, to clean up. You would have been forced to do these things or punished if you don't. You would have been taught how to dress right. You would have been taught how to treat people right. You'd be taught about all kinds of things that you could use in your world. I think a draft would solve a lot of this. Here's a question that we can ask ourselves just to philosophize. Are you optimistic about the future? What do you think the future holds? Revolution, civil war? A lot of people say that right now, going to an election season. That's manipulation. If you feel like that we're about to go into a war, understand that you're being manipulated. But what do you think about the future? And if you think the future is bleak, maybe for your own self, you have no future, you don't see anything changing in the next few years, you're on a kind of a nowhere road, nowhere path in life, along with all of Western civilization. Well, can you change your outlook? Is it possible? You might be just doom and gloom, some negative nillies saying, no, I can't change my outlook. No, it's impossible. That's just a child, a brat. That's the brat in you. Put that little motherfucker to bed. Sometimes little bratty, annoying children, they just need to go to bed. Go to bed. When they wake up, they'll be in a different mind frame. Put that little brat in you to bed, change your outlook. Got so much here, I don't even know where to go with it. Here's some advice. I tell myself this. I mean, I heard this from someone else, but I tell myself this. Don't spend your whole journey looking off the back of the ship. Look forward. Otherwise, you're just along for the ride. You're a passenger in your own life. When you're standing on a boat, you look off the back of the ship, all you see is the wake and the trail of water, the area that you've been through. You're just reliving the past. What you're looking at is the past. Why have your whole journey looking off the back of the boat, looking at the past, looking at what you already went through? Why not have some adventure? Why not have something new? Why not forget the past, what you've been through, because it doesn't matter. You lived it once. Why live it 100 times, 1,000 times? Grasping to that little bit of water back there that you just went through. Oh, you can barely see it, but you can kind of remember it. Forget it. Go to the front of the boat. Look at what's coming towards you. Focus on the horizon. Plot a course. Instead of fantasizing about what you could have done, fantasize about what you can do, what's gonna happen, what's over that hill. Let's end it off with this. I got another 6-7 pages. And some good stuff too at the end. Stuff about women. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that stuff. But some of you guys, especially you older guys, you need to hear this. Teenage life was not a pinnacle. Stop being Al Bundy. You know, Al Bundy from Married with Children, sat on the sofa with his hand down his pants for some reason. I'm not sure what that was about. And he relived. He just thought his life was terrible. He has a beautiful wife. His wife was hot. A beautiful family. 2 kids. He owned a home. He's a shoe salesman. And he owns a home. How hard is that? That's a great job. But he's so bummed on that. And he sits there every episode. Ugh, this loser. Emasculated loser. Who's given up on life. Reliving this high school football hero that he used to be. Oh, that one time that I took the team to state championship. That one pass that I threw. Oh, I was in such good shape. I was so popular. I had girlfriends. Look, you're just starting out as a teenager. If you think that a couple years into this journey, from the time you're born to the time you're 17, that's not long. You go ask somebody my age, 17 years isn't nothing. I could do 20 years standing on my head, that ain't nothing. 20 years is nothing. You get to be 15, 16, 17, whatever you are, high school age. You have a couple adventures, you're having a great time. Maybe your life is great, your teenage years were great. You look back on them with such nostalgia. I don't care how great it was. That's not the best there is. There's more to come. If you have decided that that's the best there is, oh my God, I mean, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I just want to shake you. Stop it. Stop being so stupid. And I watched an episode of Married with Children the other day. And Al Bundy in that show was like in his 30s. He looks like a youngster. He looks like a little boy. Now, I don't remember it like that when the show was on. I was younger when the show was on, but now that I'm older and I watch the reruns, he looks like a child to me. He doesn't even have any gray hair or wrinkles on his fucking face. He's got literally his whole life ahead of him. My dad was murdered at age 46 in a gang war. Life's about choice. I don't feel sorry for him. Oh, sorry about your dad, bro. Pfft. He did what he wanted. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry he chose that. My dad died at 46, murdered at 46, shot in the belly with a shotgun, died on the operating table. 46. I remember sitting there watching him. I was 20, watching him. He looked old to me. And he had just given up. He was a broken shell of a man. Given up, 46, given up. He had had his life. All he was doing at that point at 46 was remembering the good old days. I'm 52. I feel like I have the whole world ahead of me. I'm going to thrive for another 25, 30 years easily. 46? I look back on myself at 46. I see pictures of myself at 46. I feel like I was a kid. Some idiot that didn't know anything. It's all food for thought.